Hey, everybody. All right. Welcome back again. Another episode of the RnRGzrs Show. I'm your host, Murph. Got a lot of news this week, and we've got a
Uh,
concert review, and we're going to be talking about all sorts of good stuff. Live Aid a little bit. And before that, I want to say hello to my host, man with a plan. That would be my co host, Doc Vox. How's it going, Doc?
Going quite well, sir. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well on this fine fall day. Yeah, to remind everybody, please give us a subscribe, a like, a comment, thumbs up, anything you can do to help with the YouTube algorithms, kind of helping us spread the word would be greatly appreciated.
Hmm.
Also, one other thing I'd like to ask of everybody, this is October now. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So please, I'm sure many of you have had someone in your family, as I have battled with that. So early detection is key. Please take care of that, fellas
Good,
too.
good
Fellas
call,
too.
Doc. Good call, Doc. Fucking A. Well, we've had another beautiful week. Weather-wise, it's just been crazy good. Got the harvest coming up in about another week or two, so we're looking forward to that. Went to a great concert. We'll talk about that. Well, great. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll talk about that. But let's get right
Mixed
into the
mixed
news.
reviews. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get right into the news. On September 27th, they had the second Taylor Hawkins tribute concert. The first one being over there in London on September 3rd, and another rousing 53 song set. Wow. Well, I'd had to have trouble staying for that. For my butt would be too sore at that point. But
Yeah, that's quite a day. Yeah, for sure.
and quite a lineup of folks playing. Really, really amazing. I don't think we have time to go over the whole set list and everything. But what
Yeah, it
do you
was
think?
a lot of the same guys that were at the Wembley performance. So they had, the Justin Hawkins and Wolfgang doing the Van Halen stuff. Although they didn't do they did different songs. So on Fire, they did Panama this time with Hot for
Hmm.
Teacher. And but this time around, they had the guys from Def Leppard join them, guys from Motley Crue. They did a set. Soundgarden. I think what was it? Who played with Sabbath? Sebastian Bach. Did he do this? I think he did a set with Geezer. And the Foo Fighters were like out there like the whole time. They were
Yeah,
like playing with people like damn near it seems like the whole time.
and
So
real quickly though, and they ended the whole night with like a 13 song set.
mhm.
That's like a darn near a whole concert for some bands. And not only
Yeah.
did they go through the whole concert, but then at the end of it, they put on a full set. It just wow,
Yeah, yeah,
wow.
those guys were out there forever playing. Yeah, they had Elliot Easton from the Cars. Remember, they did a few
How
songs from the
about that?
Cars. So, yeah,
Ah,
they didn't stream it like they did the first one. I don't know.
that was a shame. The first one we saw
Yeah,
on Pluto TV,
yeah,
which was really nice. That came up, but yeah, for some reason they didn't want to. I believe they taped it, videoed it for probably a
yeah,
release, some kind of
probably,
concert
yeah,
release, I'm sure. So more power to them. But yeah, Rush
yeah.
was
They had
there
Pink out
again.
there. I don't know if you saw it. Had Dave Chappelle out there doing a Radiohead "Creep,"
Yeah.
which
What?
whatever, hey, it's a party. Why not?
Stuart Copeland, the legendary drummer for the Police.
Oh yeah,
Nancy Wilson, Allison Morissette, Sebastian Bach. Oh, Sebastian Bach. Oh, Geezer Butler, Lars Ulrich. Okay, yeah, a lot of people. Sebastian's
they
been in
had
the news. We'll get on that. Yeah.
Taylor had a couple side projects. He had the Coattail Riders, which was a band that he did new material with. Did an album in 2019, and then he had another band called Chevy Metal, and it's basically a cover band. And I've seen that band before. I've seen them perform. They were at Riot Fest one year. I saw the name Chevy Metal. I didn't know anything about it. It was kind of on Saturday, just no big names playing. You're just kind of walking around checking things out. And I'm hearing this band doing Motley Crue covers at Riot Fest. I'm like, what is this? So I kind of
Yeah.
make my way over there, and sure enough, it's Taylor Hawkins up there, and he's fronting the band. And
I'll be
yeah,
darned.
they did all kinds of stuff. And they had I remember D. Snyder was also at the festival, and he joined them for a Queen cover. They did "Tie Your Mother Down," and then
Ah,
a lot of people may not know Juliette Lewis, the actress. She has a
right.
band. She rocks, man. She rocks freaking hard, man. And
Excellent.
she joined them for Van Halen. Ain't talking about love.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was a pretty good
How
time.
cool is that?
Yeah. So
Oh man. But anyway, so we have the great tribute, and it seemed to be put together pretty flawlessly. And well, Sammy got to thinking about it. It's like, if they can do that, Sammy Hager, he
yeah,
brought up the situation. Well, if they can do that for Mr. Hawkins, can they do that for Eddie Van Halen? And he issued a fresh call to do an Eddie Van Halen tribute show. Uh, I don't know. What do you think about that?
yeah, that came up. Oh gosh, like when we first started doing our show, like 6 months ago. That was kind of one of the topics we were talking about, and
Yep.
it kind of Jason Newsted. I remember he kind of let the cat out of the bag that something like that was brewing, and then it just kind of fell apart from there, basically. And so now that this has happened, and I think a lot of people have had that thought, hey, if they can do this, why can't they do this
Yeah,
for Eddie?
for goodness
So
sakes.
Sammy's kind of trying to restoke the fires a little bit. But just saw this morning Wolfgang saying that the Van Halen camp is much too dysfunctional to pull something like that off.
That's a shame.
Which I can see. I mean, the Foo Fighters, they kind of got their, they got their stuff together a little bit, and
Right.
yeah, the Van Halen camps, they're just all of them are at odds, excuse me, at odds with each other. So,
Well, we haven't heard from Alex forever. He just sort of disappeared off the face of the
right,
earth.
right.
And Sammy's tried to get a hold of him, and he can't. He won't return texts or
Oh,
anything.
wow.
And wow. Yeah. That's a shame though that they're so dysfunctional at this point. They shouldn't be. They should have their act together. Jeez, what a shame. That's
Well, it's a
stupid.
shame that we can't have something like that for Eddie. I mean, he's, well
Yeah.
liked, well respected, and just would be a perfect guy to have something like that for. But yeah,
Well, Sammy got the juices up. He was talking to Rolling Stone, and he commended Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters for the emotive spectacle they put on for their close friend and bandmate, rightly describing it as, quote, one of the greatest events in rock history, unquote. Well, it was
yeah,
good. It was good. It was good.
uh,
Boy, if anybody should get something like that for crying out loud, it should be Eddie Van Halen for crying out loud, man.
yeah, yeah.
Jeez. I don't get it. I don't get poor Taylor. Jeez, there he is right there. Yeah, yeah. And there's Sammy. And here we go. Jeez. We keep talking about these. We just can't get away from it, can we? Help. Help. Sharon Osbourne. Oh, for crying out loud. Sharon Osbourne. They just can't stay off the TV. They don't have enough money or exposure, apparently, because
Yeah.
she's got a new TV show, Sharon Osbourne to Hell and Back. And it just never ends with these folks. Just never ends.
Yeah, it's like a 4-part kind of docu series, kind of going through her personal and professional life, and I guess she was on the Talk. It's kind of those one of
Right?
I I knew it existed. I don't think I've ever seen it, but
No.
yeah, it's just one of those kind of shows. Nonetheless, but I guess she had some falling out there. I don't know, some hard feelings or something where she kind of felt railroaded. I guess it's kind of the
Yeah,
vibe I'm
yeah.
getting anyway. I don't know. I don't know all the
It was.
details, maybe.
She was standing up for Piers Morgan because he was trashing the Duchess of Sussex or Duchess of Sucks or whatever her is. I don't even know. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of
Okay.
Sucks. Yeah, he was giving her some shit, which was rightly deserved. And then Sharon stood up for him, and then they accused Sharon of a bunch of crap and turned on her, and it was just ugly Hollywood bullshit. I don't even know if the talk was in the U.S. or if it was in the U.K. You
No, oh
know,
yeah, it was here. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah. It was
that's
on.
how much I paid attention to it.
Yeah,
But
it's just one of them shows that.
oh, here we go. She's gonna be taking the viewers behind the scenes and all this bullshit. I don't care. I, oh, jeez,
People
what a
may
waste.
not remember she had a career in rock and roll before Ozzy. She was a manager. She
Right,
she
right.
managed like ELO and her father did. Her father Don Arden.
Bingo. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say her dad. She got her chops from her old man, who was a
yeah.
manager.
He was
Yeah.
big time. Yeah, yeah. He managed Sabbath, and that's how the
Oh
connection started
boy.
and all that. But yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
managed Smashing Pumpkins and Motorhead, and so yeah.
Oh, geez. So yeah, she's here we go. It ain't enough now, and that's besides the new show in England they're gonna have when they get
Right.
there, showing them coming back. Jeez, yeah, jeez. We don't need it, man.
Yeah, it seems like once she got a taste of that media, glitz or whatever on the first reality show, she's been seeking it more and more. She was like, was she a judge on some of those talent shows or
Oh yeah,
something?
yes, she was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
world's weirdest dumbass or whatever it was
Some
show was.
yeah.
You know what I wish? I wish that all the by magic, all the royals would start talking with a Cockney accent. That would be the best. Hey, what, governor? King Charles, yeah, have start talking Cockney. That would be very cool. But in any case, go for it. Go for it, London. Your economy's in the same crap we are, so maybe the Osborns can help you pull it through with their lighthearted fare. Next up, though, I've never seen these guys. You heard a lot about them. Dead and Company, correct?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Dead
yeah,
and
yeah.
Company. There they
Yeah.
are right there. John Mayer, Bob Weir, and the bandmates cruising around doing the Dead thing. Man, it's finally coming to an end after, what, mid 60s or late 60s since the Deadhead's been
Dead
going.
officially started 65, but I think we were starting to wear them like, a couple years later, 67. But yeah, long, long freaking time. I think just since, Jerry Garcia's death, and it's just been, a way to find to keep the band going. John Mayer hooked onto them, and they've been doing it for a while now. I want to say it's like, I don't know, 10 years, no, not 10 years, 8 years maybe.
It
I
could
don't
be
know,
quite
something
a
like that.
while. Yeah.
They've been doing it for a while. And Bob Weir and
Mickey Hart.
and Bill Kreutzmann, the original guys. And yeah, I guess they're going to do one more summer tour and next year. And at the end of 2023, they're going to call it a career. John Mayer can go back to doing sappy songs and dating Jennifer Aniston or whatever they were doing. But
well, they good for them. They kept the spirit alive. And I know a few Dead fans, and they're very mellow, cool people, just like you see, just like you expect them to be.
right.
They still are in that very cool, mellow '60s kind of vibe. And too bad the world has gone to hell, but good for them, man.
If we were 20, 30 years younger and felt like traveling to see the Dead, we could have done so with our season passes this year. Because it was good for any of those venues around the country. And the Dead
that would have been cool.
They hit a couple of those, but yeah, I don't think we're quite up for traveling with the Dead.
Boy, well, we could have done that with any band, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I could have followed Korn around the nation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to keep that in mind, for crying out loud. That sure is a perk. I'll tell you what. So good for the Dead and Company. I can't blame you. Everybody's getting old. Everybody's getting tired after your tour for 60 years. You may just say, it's time to kick back, go out to the farm.
I remember I saw Bob Weir. It was a little offshoot he has called Bob Weir and the Inflatable Dates.
Oh God! Oh jeez!
Back in the mid '80s, when I was out in California in the Army, and it was just at a club. I think it was the old Monterey Music Hall, and just saw this Bob Weir. Hey, all right, Bob Weir. Hey, why not check it out? And yeah, whatever.
I'll be darned. Yeah, very cool. Very uncool situation here seems to be with our good buddy Roger Waters. He canceled some Poland concerts after his war remarks. And come on, are you surprised that he had some remarks about the war? No. I saw him chew up a CNN commentator a month and a half ago or a couple of months
Yeah.
ago. He just chewed the guy up and spit him out. But some of the stuff he says is pretty crazy.
Pretty radical. Yeah.
Yeah, he's yeah, it says here Pink Floyd co-founder Roger Waters has canceled concerts planned in Poland amid outrage over his stance on Russia's war against Ukraine. Polish media reported. An official with the Torrent Arena said they would no longer take place as concerts. And Roger Waters' manager decided to withdraw without giving any reason. That's what the Polish promoter is saying. But I'm sure he took them off. He was criticizing everything, criticizing some extreme nationalists in Ukraine for having set your country on the path to this disastrous war. I'm sure there's a lot of inside stuff, and he appears to be well read. So I, for one, ain't going to argue with him because I'm not nearly as well read as he is. And he probably knowing the insidiousness of governments, I would not question much anything that would somebody would accuse them of.
Yeah, apparently he wrote a letter to the first lady of the Ukraine and saying those things. Yes, saying blaming her for her country's extreme nationalism set the country on a path to a disastrous war, blaming the West and specifically the U.S. for supplying the Ukraine. And yeah, he's kind of got some radical views there. And
yeah, he might be right. I saw a little article today that Zelensky bought his parents a $8 million villa. I'm gonna look into that. Either way, it doesn't matter. Wow. They're all crooks, all of them. They're a bunch of men on top making stupid decisions that affect the whole mass of people that don't want anything to do with their damn decisions. So it's really a bummer. But he's one to really stir the hornet's nest. Roger Waters is.
Man. Yeah. So this week sometime, I guess the city council of Krakow, Poland, is voting to make him persona non grata.
Ooh, wow.
Which,
so they're not messing around.
Yeah.
They're not messing around with Rogers. Well, geez. Another story that's a shame. We all know Dave Navarro, legendary Jane's Addiction guitarist. Man. Cool guy, very cool tats, just really legendary.
Yeah, he's on Ink Master, and he's done tons of stuff. I think he's hosted a couple shows. And
he's very cool. He seems like a really cool with it, just got his shit together kind of guy. And he's gonna have to sit out the Jane's Addiction's upcoming tour with Smashing Pumpkins because he's still battling COVID. He's got long COVID.
Yeah.
My gosh. And, and I've been so flippant about it, because I got COVID. Did you get COVID at all, Doc?
Never did.
You never did. I got it, but it was like I've got the magical situation to take care of. I had it for like 4 days. It slammed me hard and then it went away. And I just don't worry about it. I never got the shot or anything. It just and I'm high risk. I'm super high risk, but to hell with it. My routine worked, and I just blew right through it. But some people actually they really got issues with it. A lot of people died from it, obviously, and they're getting it even with the vaccine and whatnot. And he was vaccinated and whatnot, I'm sure, and he still got COVID, and now he's got long COVID, and he still has it. And boom, he's gonna have to bow out of the whole damn concert. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess he's had it since December. So we're going like 10 months.
That's
now,
unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Gosh. He was hoping for a full recovery by October, but he's still very fatigued, and he's just not going to be able to join this leg of the tour. That's really a bummer, man. Jeez.
That sounds like a good bill. Jane's Addiction and Smashing Pumpkins.
How about it? That sort of makes a lot of sense there.
I know the Pumpkins got a new album out, so I'm guessing they'd be headlining. I'm not sure. I would think so.
Oh, I would think so. Yeah. And he goes on to say, though I'm saddened to not make this tour, I am focused on making a full recovery and rejoining the guys when I am able. I truly wish the band well on this tour, and I'm confident they will bring everything to make it a fabulous show. I'm sure they will. Go get them, guys. Maybe I can get to a show one night and watch my own band for the first time ever. Well, hang in there, brother. Crying out loud.
Yeah, I think he's going to kind of hang back and work on some new material. And I guess he'll
Yeah.
have some new stuff ready when the guys get off the road, and
I just hope he gets over it. I just hope he
Yeah.
gets over it at some point.
Yeah.
Good riddance, you know. Some of us have just we just blew right through it, and doggone it, man. So hang in there, Dave Navarro. Geez, what a shame. Wow, some people it really has her. Oh,
Well, he's not the only
okay,
one that's getting COVID. Ringo's
Ringo.
shutting down some shows. I guess that was just that's brand new news. I think.
Let me see here. What do I got? Oh yeah, Sir Ringo. He's canceled several shows on his North American tour because he caught COVID-19. And you know he's 82, so you
Right.
know he's super high risk. And they've been really careful on their tour. I saw an article talking to one of his tour mates, and they've been following every protocol, every precaution, everything they could do. Let me see. Boy, he's recovering at home and hopes to resume soon. You know, boy, tour dates in Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia have all been canceled, and they'll see what goes on after that. But he's having individual band members catching it, and he'd have to cancel. It's been a really hit and miss.
Right. Yeah, I remember Steve Lukather, right?
Right,
Was with
right.
them. He had it for a spell, and yeah, someone else too. I can't quite recall.
Yeah.
But they don't take those cancellations lightly. You know, they're losing a lot of money when that happens. So, but it's totally necessary. Like I said, Ringo's 82, so.
Yeah, yeah. You know, right. You're right. They lose money, and the crew doesn't make money. I mean, everybody's just suddenly boom flat and done. So, what a shame! What a shame for Sir Ringo. But
Well, you would
hang
think
in there.
people wouldn't take cancellations lightly, but some bands, it seems, perhaps take them a little more lightly than others.
Oh boy, good segue, my man. Good
Yeah,
segue.
all right.
Speaking of canceling shows, got this group called Falling in Reverse. Oh boy, did they cause a stir. There's crap all over the internet about them now. Falling in Reverse, they had to cancel a festival appearance right here in Chicago,
Yeah, Grays
up there
Lake.
in
Yeah,
Lake County at Fairgrounds,
yeah, Grays Lake.
because their laptops were missing, and that started all sorts of brouhaha, if you know what I mean.
Brouhaha.
Brouhaha. Yeah, Falling in Reverse laptops are missing, and I don't know the singer Ronnie Radke. Well, before we go any further, I gotta say that in this day and age, I think every high quality production out there has laptops. You know, I know Meshuggah runs their whole show off of
Right.
off of you know, geez. So a lot of people use for everything. You know, keyboardists use laptops with their keys. There's laptops everywhere. So I'm not, you know, but just the fact that they lost them. Wait a while, what? If you lost your laptops, you should have lost all your gear because they should have been with your damn gear. So sure enough, they had to scrap their performance, and boy, oh boy, that started a whole bunch of crap. Eddie Trunk, legend
Our
here.
buddy Eddie Trunk. Yeah.
Where is Eddie? Where is he? Oh, there he is. There's Eddie right
There
there.
he is.
Yeah, he started really bragging about it, and expound a little bit on it if you could, Doc.
Yeah, I guess, you know, like I said, they were up there, and then they were kind of. I think what kind of rubbed people out the wrong way a lot too was Ronnie Radke put out a statement and was kind of like blaming the crew. You know, hey, our crew lost our laptops and screwed up the whole thing, kind of thing, and everything. So, you know, I think the comments that they started getting were a little rough. You know, kind of, you know, responding to that too. So, yeah, and people, of course, you know, the old guys like Eddie Trunk, they're like, hey, you know, Aerosmith's up there every night. They're not using laptops and, you know, that kind of thing. So then it got to Sebastian Bach.
Oh boy.
So that Sebastian Bach gets on there. He's responding to the whole thing. And I guess one of the statements that the Ronnie Radke, the guy from Falling, what was it called?
Falling in Reverse.
Yeah. It says, you guys are talking hellish shit, but you go and see Kiss lip sync. That's like, all right, well, yeah, good point. So they kind of went back and forth with Bach, and then Bach's kind of finally I can't wait to meet you in person. We'll take it outside, all that kind of thing. So
Oh yeah, here we go. Tough guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jeez, it was truly an amazing back and forth, and it just kept building and building because
yeah,
apparently, Ronnie Radke called Sebastian Bach an idiot or something like that, which I can see because I gotta imagine Sebastian Bach's a prick. I'm just from what I've seen throughout the years,
yeah,
he just
yeah,
seems like he's a jag off prick. You know what? That's
yeah,
what we called in the old days a jag off. You know,
yeah,
plain and simple.
yeah.
And
Good old fashioned jag off. Yeah,
yeah. But, Eddie Trunk gave him some shit, and then of course Bach. You know, he's let me see if I got it here. Introducing Trunk, idiots talking shit about me using tracks, blah blah blah, and then Bach fires back. Wow, dummy, are you trying to say that you believe that I use tracks on the stage? Eddie Trunk, how effing funny is this? Oh, geez. So you get it now. It's a triad. You know, they got the three of them going on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And Radke responds, "There's a fake audience cheer in your intro tracks." Oh man. And also fake drums. The F you mean. That shit isn't real. You are using a fake audience cheering as you walk out on the effing track, hence you using tracks. Boom. And yeah, and now Sebastian just wants to find him and kick his ass. But the guy looks sort of goofy, but he's not a little wimpy guy. He's got a body, so Sebastian, he's a young kid, Sebastian. You're not a youngster anymore. Be careful what you wish for. Although we'll see. I'd like to see that. That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
I
that'd
would
be like remember when they used to have a celebrity death match? When they used to have those. I always thought they should have those for real. That'd be
for real,
awesome. Yeah.
real death matches. Yeah, because boy, it hasn't cooled down yet at all. I mean, there's I can't wait to see the next installment. Actually, it's just going to be
So
whacked
they've
out.
performed since then in Sacramento, and I didn't get a chance to look into it, but hoping they got their laptops back or whatnot. I found
Oh,
it. I thought it was interesting too. They were replaced at the festival there in Grays Lake by Jackal. Our buddies at
were they
Jackal.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesse James, yeah, coming out doing the lumberjack, yeah.
oh yeah. There's some local bands that use that as part of their act too. They come out and chew up a chair with a chainsaw. So yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is, right there. Let me see. Let me get out of the picture here. He's looking pretty fit. I don't not really.
No,
Nah.
not really.
Nah, if you just back off, Sebastian. Youngsters, they could prove troublesome for you. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But that's pretty funny the way that's going. And here's a favorite that you might dig. Hang on here. Let me get it up here. Boom, there he is.
My boy.
Yeah. What's going on with him?
Yeah, Bruce has got a new album coming out of covers, soul covers from the
How
late
about
'60s,
that?
early '70s. So, kind of looking at the song list, I'm not familiar with a lot of songs. So there's a couple on there that we'll know, but most of them are more obscure. So, he's Bruce. He's kind of at the stage of his career, kind of doing what he
Do
wants
what
to
the hell
do.
he wants to do at this
And
point. It don't,
he's calling the album Covers Volume 1, Only the Strong Survive. So he's calling it Volume 1. It's telling me there's going to be a Volume 2. I would anticipate.
Great forensic
So,
analysis there.
so we'll see. We'll see what he comes up with after that one. But it's going to be a lot of Motown and Stax, kind of gamble and huff
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
kind of out of Philly.
Well,
So
good for him. He's earned
got
his journey right.
Sam Moore's on the album on a couple tracks, so kind of gives you an idea of the vibe of the album. But yeah, we'll
Cool.
see. I don't know how much of it he's going to be doing while he's on tour now for them $5,000 tickets, but we'll.
Ooh, cha-ching, boom. Hang on. That's right. $5,000 tickets, man. Well, good for him. He's earned the right to do whatever the hell he wants, and he's so damn filthy rich that
Filthy
whatever.
rich.
More power to him. Pay your roadies more. Take less for you, Bruce. As a matter of fact, on this tour, don't even take the salary. Take whatever sell you were going to do and
well, he's
split
got
it
so many,
amongst the roadies.
he's got so many people in his band. Like Steve Van Zandt, I'm sure is not cheap. You know, what are you paying? What are you paying little Steve in there?
Hey, little Stevie, go get me a cheeseburger, man. Okay. That was an old Steve Dow joke.
Yeah, I'm sure all the guys in the band, and Nils Lofgren, I'm sure they're getting paid quite well. So ticket prices will not ever be cheap for a
well,
Bruce
there
show,
you go. Sure. The ticket prices are always gonna suck, but it is what it is. Well, good for him, man. He's got a shitload of albums out, and one more ain't gonna hurt anything.
Yeah.
Here's a story that's sort of disappointing. Why the headline from let me see what the headline, where's the headline from here? It's the good people of Blabbermouth. Why wasn't Vivian Campbell interviewed for Ronnie James Dio documentary? And that's a pretty interesting read, I must say. Damn, what a shame. It seems like another triad between Ronnie, Wendy, Dio, and Vivian Campbell. And man, it's a really interesting story. You know, they according to the article, and supposedly the truth of the matter is, Vivian and the rest of the band members didn't really get a full cut of anything the first couple of albums, because they were promised that like by the third album it would be full equity between all of them. And
it was the band Dio. It wasn't Ronnie James Dio, the artist. The band Dio, right?
They considered it a band, but apparently Wendy, no. She considered him, on his own, basically like Ozzy. Ozzy would just having a backup band, and boom, boom, he's the big man, and that's what started all the crap. And they ended up firing Viv, and then the back and forth started, and that's what you don't want to see, oh man, Dio really trashed him and trashed Def Leppard at the same time. Oh gosh, where's the quote?
Yeah, that's not hard to do.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it was a big freaking mess. And
Dio, I've heard him sometime. He's kind of got a biting wit when he wants to, or when he wanted to, I should say.
Right.
But yeah.
It what a shame. And he said, he's basically getting paid $100 a week, but then he went and bought a Ferrari or something. But then Viv comes back and says, well, yeah, I was living with my parents. I had no bills, and I had one goal, and that was to buy that damn Ferrari,
Right.
But, and she comes back, yeah, so you're only making 100 a week, blah, blah. What about your, so it was a really ugly back
oh
and
my
forth.
Gosh.
And some of the things they said back and forth was really, really pretty ugly. So what a shame,
Well, the thing is too, right now he's got a side project called The Last in Line, which is the name of the second Dio album. And it's, Vinny Appice, Appice, we'll go with Appice. And Jimmy Bain, they were the original members of the Dio band, and they got together to do those songs. And it turned into they're doing originals, and they're releasing albums and stuff under that name. And it's kind of a little side project he's got going on other than Def Leppard. So, but yeah, Wendy, like I said, Wendy wanted, it to be Ronnie James Dio, the artist, and everybody else wanted the Dio, the band, and they've had a bit of a falling out. But nonetheless, when they have this documentary, I mean, Viv Campbell was an important part of that, getting it started. So you think he would have been interviewed, but Vivian, sour grapes, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Vivian called Ronnie an awful businessman, and way more importantly, one of the vilest people in the industry. I think that sort of starts crap.
As I said, he's got that biting wit. He maybe more than we know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of horrible back and forth, and you're just too late to mend fences. So you just learn and move on. Oh, yeah. Oh gosh. And then Dio says, you ever heard the things that he ever said about me? He called me the most despicable human being there ever lived. I thought I gave you a chance, made you somebody, Dio said. And now you're playing with who? Deaf freaking who? There's an effing rock band for you to effing have diarrhea with, so it was that's what Dio said about.
Well, he was with Whitesnake too for a while. I mean, he was kind of the guy that bounced around, and he was even known before Dio got him. I can't think of who he played with, but he was a known commodity even
Oh, he's actually,
He was kind of a gun for hire kind of guitar
and
slinger kind of guy, you know.
I have to disagree with you. I quite honestly, Def Leppard has some really good songwriting, and I like the guitar work because the two guitars are always doing something different. It's the same song, but they're always playing something different, and it really weaves quite an excellent song, and obviously by their popularity and whatnot. So, oh, Vivian, and Wendy, when she did the hologram deal, it's like,
Oh
come
yeah,
on, what an insult! What a freaking insult for
yeah,
crying out
yeah. I've
loud!
forgotten about that one.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole mess is done with. So good
Yeah.
riddance. But another one here. Who do we got here? Rammstein. Good old Rammstein. There they are. He's got flame. He's got light coming out of his mouth. It's scary. Octoliebe. I think they would say in German. Octoliebe. Oh yeah. They're kicking ass, man. They ain't taking no crap. Uh, Apparently over in Europe, they've got one ticket agency that sells their tickets, and that's it. They don't let
Right.
anybody else. And they've got another firm called Via Gogo that trying to push their luck. And boy, oh boy, I swear
Yeah, it kind of sounds like they're kind of like a StubHub kind of, second, broker, I guess they call them or whatever. But
right.
Rammstein's gotten wind of it, and they've had this trouble before. They had the same situation back in 2018, and just kind of, Rammstein's just kind of, they're one of those bands, I don't know.
They're out of their mind. They were here in Chicago just
Pretty extreme,
about a month ago. My son went and
earlier,
saw them.
yeah,
And a lot of fire apparently. A lot of
oh yeah,
this and that, but they're not taking no crap. See over here, if Live Nation puts out the concert and they're selling the tickets, you can still have secondary stub hubs and Ticketmaster and all sorts of different crap. Vid events, just there's all sorts of sites out there that'll resell the tickets where they're not allowing it. They're one company sells their tickets and that's it. So I don't see anything.
Yeah, they're
wrong with
actually
that.
getting a restraining order and getting an injunction, all that legal stuff to keep that from happening. So good for them. Yeah,
exactly. People gotta take a stand in that kind of crap. So hey, here's our buddy. Oh, our pal. Oh, no. You can see the strain in his cheek muscles from where he tried to smile. Dave Mustaine. Yes, it's Dave Mustaine, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Yeah. Well, we'll be talking soon enough, but we got an article here on he'd like to get back together with James Hetfield and do some more music. Quite honestly, I would like to see that.
I think everybody would.
Yeah. Why not? Water under the bridge, folks. Move on, make up, and yeah. I'd love to see them two get together. Two crazy metal monsters. Yeah. I think that'd be very cool. So hopefully he can do it. I don't see why not, for crying out loud. Enough is enough. They both made money. They're both doing well. They're both, they're probably happy, although it's hard to tell with Dave, obviously, because he's got to wear his forever frown. But I hope he gets a chance to. We'll see what happens.
Well, he says it's going to happen. Dave says it's going to happen. So I don't think the final, stroke of the pen or whatever's been made on it, but I think he says it's going to happen. So
Metallica's on hiatus right now.
I guess
Metallica's on hiatus right now, right? They're not playing.
They were at Lollapalooza over the summer, and I don't think they've done much since then. Lars was at the Taylor Hawkins thing, yeah.
With Justin Hawkins,
Justin Hawkins,
well, that's cool though. Hey, it is what it is. Hopefully they can get together. That that wouldn't be a bad thing. Another article here, real quick, before we head on into other things. Judas Priest, they got voted for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in some sham category, but they're going to do a medley of their classic songs. So we got a little bit of info on that. So good for them. Lord knows what it is. They like they said, they've never done anything like that where they're going to squeeze a
Oh, I
whole
bet
bunch of
not. Yeah.
songs into a specific amount of time. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Will they get Glenn out there? Jeez, I don't know how he's doing these days. Because it doesn't get any better, Parkinson. So we'll see if they bring him out. See how they work with
Yeah, I hope
KK.
so. I hope they bring him out there for at least one song, or if they're going to do a medley like that, though. I mean, I don't see how they
Yeah,
do
it
that.
could be. Well, we'll see what happens because talk about from the beginning a two guitar attack. They were one of the original two guitar attacks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And oh man, hopefully he can get out and do a little something. But jeez, old age and all this old diseases and whatnot, it just really sucked. But yeah, it'll be good to see everybody on the same stage. And doggone it, KK, bite, get together, another bro, get together and do one final big BAM tour. Get the gang back together for crying out loud.
It's been known to happen where bands
Gee.
will get in the Hall of Fame and reunite there and continue on. And the Police, that happened with the Police. They thought they never tour again. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, hopefully something like that'll happen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All righty. Well, in any case, it is what it is. So, hey, boom. We went to a concert. We did.
Yeah, we did.
And boy, oh boy, it was a doozy. Boy, what did it start out with? Was it Hammer of the Gods? Was it
Fire from the Gods.
Fire from the Gods?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of a rap metal kind of, I don't know, conglomeration of whatnot.
Yeah, hardcore with a black lead singer, African American, whatever. Jeez, cool guy, great voice, hard rocking. You're really, really going nuts. They're a good hard rocking band. The crowd was good by that point too. It was nippy. It was a bit nippy to start, not too bad.
Yeah, for time of year, not too bad.
Almost October, one day away from October. It was a little nippy. Everybody it was a good time though. And yeah, the what are they? The what from the gods?
Fire from the Gods.
Fire from the gods. I'm a geezer. I'm getting old. Damn it, leave me alone. Yeah. They kicked that. It was a good starting. The first out of 4 bands. It was a good way to start. They were getting people warmed up real good. Think so? Think so, Doc? Eh?
Yeah, not my particular cup of tea, but yeah, they do what they had to do, I suppose.
And then we were quite surprised. Well, I wasn't too surprised about this one.
No, but it was a treat, though. Oh, by the way, too, that they only did a half-hour set.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and as well as this band too. So.
Well, we were surprised because usually when they have 4 bands, they'll start at 5:30, and this one started at 6:30. So I didn't even think Fire of Gods would be there, but they were there. So yeah, they just gave them a half an hour and boom, goodbye. But boy, this half hour was well worth it. The HU from Mongolia.
Yeah.
Boy, these guys, man, they kicked ass. I just gotta say it was really impressive. What do you say? Look at the instruments in the picture. They had very strange of 2 and 3 string guitars with violin bows and quite an interesting.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're Mongolian folk metal, I suppose, how they're classified.
Okay.
They've been around since about 2016. They got 2 or 3 albums under their belt, so I can't, I don't know anybody that has one, but they do. And it was, it was very entertaining. I couldn't understand a word they were saying, nor could anybody else there, but it was very entertaining. They come out. It's an 8-piece band. The band itself is 4 guys, and then they tour with 8, and they have bass guitar, drums, and then they have another percussion guy with the big kettle type drums.
Right.
And those are the 4 touring members.
Oh, they got the guitars too.
Well, those were the 4 touring members. Yeah, with the regular guitarists. Yeah,
guitarist, bass, and then drums, and then
the kettle drums. Yeah.
Whatnot.
And then they had the guy that had it was like a 3-string guitar that they called as a Tav Shure. And then the
Ooh.
other three guys were playing these 2-string cellos called Marin Cures.
Wow.
I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation, but
You've done your homework
I
though.
did a little homework, and then they have a little horse head on the top of them. I guess that's how they string them up. They look pretty cool. But
Very
yeah,
cool.
it was quite a sound, quite a show. They
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the
It-
throat singing. It's different from the guttural death metal kind of styles. It's much
yeah.
more just in the throat, and that was kind of cool. So
It's
yeah,
like you're in with 100 monks, you know, and they're
yeah,
just chanting,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
But
and it was just a,
instead of just chanting, they're singing with it. It's pretty
and they
cool.
were
Pretty
rocking
cool.
hard. It was headbanging stuff, man. It was headbanging music, crying out loud. Way to go. Way to go from Mongolia.
Yeah.
You know, pardon the British accent. But yeah, so they kicked some booty. And next up, our good buddy, there he
All right,
is.
boys.
He looks happy there, doesn't he? Dave Mustaine and Megadeth. Yeah. Quite honestly, I wish he'd keep the beard for, I'm sort of, I dig the beard, Dave, but no, he was clean shaven when we saw him. Still angry, and I got a theory about him, Doc.
Oh,
They come out, well, he seems to be always angry, but when you play the kind of music he plays, I mean, he comes out and it's 150 mile an hour from words go
yeah,
to the word stop. They
yeah,
just go, man.
yeah.
He doesn't look up. He doesn't give a shit who's out in the audience. He doesn't he looking down at his guitar and they just rock hard, man. They were great. Jeez, what do you think?
Yeah, it came out. Megadeth have been around forever. I mean, one of the originators of the sound. I mean, Dave Mustaine in particular, and he's been the one constant through there. There's been countless guys in that band. I don't even know how many. 20, I bet. I don't know. And it's a new batch of guys this time around. Well, it's not brand new. They've been with them for I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years now. But yeah, man, they well-oiled machine, man. They come out and they get the job done, man. And they got
Well-oiled machine. That's the way. That's a
and
good
they
way to put it.
yeah,
No
they
flash,
had
no
their
bullshit. Well,
mascot come out. What's the guy's name? Rattlehead or whatever the guy's name. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, he kind
Gee.
of comes out and then hangs out for a while. But
It was
yeah,
freaked
Dave and
me
the
out,
boys
man.
just kind of looked like they were just out running errands and decided to stop in and do a show. Dave
Yeah.
just kind of
Well, yeah,
buttoned
yeah,
up shirt, untucked, and just kind of,
yeah. A nice white proper shirt and
yeah,
a pair of blue jeans and yeah, just he ain't got time for flash or bullshit. He's got time to hard rock you, and he
yeah,
really kicked ass. I love their set too. Their set was they had Marshall bottoms, 4x12 Marshall bottoms, stacked four high, and then about 4 feet apart, and then in between that 4 feet were LED panels, which made a decent show, a nice stage show. But yeah,
They
they
had the
didn't
drum. Yeah, the drummer's way up on the in
way
the
up on a
risers
bunch of
there. Yeah,
Marshall bottoms, and yeah, they didn't care about that at all. They didn't give a shit. They're just there to rock. They have really, like yeah, Dave probably he could have done anything in the outfit he wore. His blue jeans and his white shirt. He could have gone out to anywhere. Nobody would have known none the better. This guy ain't a rock star. Look at he's just got blue jeans and a white shirt on, and he's out there rocking our asses off. It was just great. It was really what I expected, quite honestly. And he actually did come up with a couple of smiles. It was hard. I could tell
it
cheek
didn't look
muscles
right. Yeah, it didn't.
his cheek
It was,
muscles were straining, but he come out with some smiles. And it's funny because I think they gave him an hour set, and at about 50
yeah,
minutes, boom, they're off the stage. It's like, wow, that's pretty doggone early. And then Dave comes out solo and just sitting there talking to people for quite a while, quite a few minutes talking out. Then I believe they did one more song, and they were
one more.
still
Yeah,
like a couple of minutes early before
they
9.
did. They finished with the Holy Wars. So it
Oh
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they did that.
And then they still had to stay out there for like 3 minutes until 9 o'clock. So they were just out there waving and throwing picks out and whatnot and taking their time. So they were, they weren't leaving that stage till 9 o'clock, even though they were just a
Yeah.
little early. But it was very cool show. Okay, hang on, Doc. Hang on. Oh, geez. And then the headline, the headliner comes up, Five Finger Death Punch. Oh, geez. Here we go. We're gonna, keep getting ourselves in trouble, Doc. First it's Kid Rock, and here we go with Five Finger
Yeah,
Death.
I
Here it
thought
goes with Five
exactly.
Finger
Yeah.
Death Punch. Ah,
Yeah.
jeez. I could see why there's some talk out there like these guys ain't metal, they're posers, they're blah, they're this, they're that. Jeez.
Dude, you picked the exact word to say. Back in the day, we would have called these guys posers, and
Yeah.
that's where they're at. That's where they
Ah,
land.
jeez. We went there with an open mind, hopeful hearts,
Yeah,
praying,
bright eyed and
bright-eyed,
yeah,
bushy-tailed, and
ready to go.
ready to go. Come on, show us what you got. Because because I was familiar with the word on the street that what the hell's with these guys. So, no, come on, you'll be fine. And geez, they're just not all that. They're not that metal. I mean, come on, they're like a
No.
poppy pop metal, if you want to. Hey, there you go, pop metal. How's that? Yeah.
Yeah, they need to come up with a name for this. I don't know. To me, this is the equivalent of the hair metal back in the '80s. The posers that
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
I
just
didn't
the
get it. Yeah,
sophomoric lyrics and the stupid looks, and it's just the
yeah, the goofy pants.
yeah,
The
I'm
lead
gonna
singer
kick your
wears.
ass kind of lyrics. Yeah, it's just
And what's with
yeah.
the bass player? I don't believe for a minute. Yeah,
No,
well,
those
I
are
don't know.
extensions.
Can he
Yeah, for
can he
sure.
actually grow a beard 4 foot long?
No,
I don't think so. I
no,
don't know.
no,
Are they clip-ons or
no.
what?
Yeah,
It
they're
looks like he can
extensions for
kick my
sure.
ass, obviously. And then the other guy with the funny hair. They got two guys with funny hairs. I'm just saying. And
Yeah.
and what really did me in was hang on here. I'm self-medicating. Really did me in. For the longest time, for like a year, I don't know, half a year now, I've been hearing this stupid song on our favorite local hard rock station. And I didn't know who it was. And Odie, Odie, just like Jekyll and Hyde. And I was thinking, God, this song sucks so bad. Just like sophomoric Wizard of Oz shit. I had no idea who it was. Sure as shit. Sure enough.
Oh yeah.
Friday night.
Yeah.
That figures. That just blew it right there. And that got me to thinking, Doc, because you brought the situation to my attention. Idiotic lyrics. I've got I got a handful of songs already produced, totally produced, except for the lyrics and the vocals. And as a matter of fact, you can hear one of the songs on the podcast version of this show on the beginning of the show and the end of the show. Is one of my originals without lyrics. But after hearing this crap, I think it's about time I just throw some freaking words together and throw them out there.
Yeah.
Case in point, Doc, case in point, you brought to my attention a classic song by the group Yes. I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way. What the hell does that mean? Really, that's as
But if you
bad
say it as if it's profound and keep repeating it,
as
people, they'll take it, man.
yeah, but I don't get it. And then it would come across as Odie Odie, just like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
It's like, that's sophomore crap. So I might just throw some freaking words together and actually get my songs out there at some point.
Yeah.
'cause-
No, for me, I was honestly, I was ready to go almost immediately. I mean, honestly, as soon as this guy came running out, and he just looks like a douche, man. He just looks like one of the guys you just want to punch right in the face. And he just got that look, and just he's got that way about him, man. He's like a rock and roll pit bull. Pit bull. He's like one of those guys. I don't know, if I ever see him, I want to punch him.
Who's the group that did that song Saturday night?
Bay City Rollers.
Rollers. There
Yeah.
you go. They're like a little harder version of the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I said that.
Like the Bay City Rollers on drugs or something. Yeah. But yeah, 5-finger death punch as opposed to what, a 3-finger death punch? As that's it's a stupid name. It's a stupid look. There's stupid lyrics, a stupid sound, everything about it. There's not an ounce of originality to it. It's just, yeah, I will have to hard pass on
Yeah,
Five Finger
yeah.
Death Punch.
Jeez, unbelievable. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame, but it is what it is.
Oh, we do have another show coming up that we're much more looking forward to. So that was the last one of our concerts for the summer season. Some
Yep.
of you may know, just to catch everybody up, I always try to do this when we talk about it, that we had season tickets for the venue at Tinley Park, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and we saw 13 concerts throughout the summer. And next week we are going to sit and talk about those. That's what's going to kind of be
That's
our
going to
end of the
be the whole
summer kind of
show.
show. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll go over each concert and kind of re-review them, and then we'll kind of have some awards, best show, best, I don't know. We'll
Absolutely.
see what categories we can come up with, and so that might be an interesting show for next week. No, it will be an interesting show. Not might be, it will be.
Right, right,
But
right.
so in 2 weeks, the 2 weeks it's coming up close. We
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks
have
away.
another show at a small club, the suburb of Chicago, for the Dead Boys, the
Yes.
punk pioneers, the Dead Boys. So yeah, far cry from Five Finger Death Punch. So we'll be looking
I
forward to
can't
seeing
wait,
those
man.
guys for
It's going to be
sure.
great.
Oh yeah, yeah, and small club too. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And we got seats or stools anyway, so
Yeah.
I don't have to stand up. Blah. Okay, man. Well, say what's going on this week on the topic there, Doc?
Well, we were talking it was last week we did Fire Festival, or recently we did Fire Festival, and
Right.
kind of made the observation that we seem to talk about a lot of failed festivals. We've done Altamont and Woodstock 99 and Fire Festival, and thought maybe this time we'll talk about a festival that went off pretty well. And with
Sure.
the Taylor Hawkins tributes going on, kind of put me in mind of another one that was done on both sides of the Atlantic, although this one was on the same day, and that, of course, is Live Aid.
Live Aid, sure.
Back in, what was it, July 13th, Saturday, July 13th, 1985. I think, many of us can remember where we were or what we were doing watching it. Did you watch any of it? We never talked about this. Did you watch any of it?
I don't think so. I was probably working at that time.
Yeah.
I had weird hours back then, so yeah. It was obviously yeah, everybody knew about it. Bob Geldof put it together, just
Yeah.
amazing, and he had a focus, and he followed through, and it was really amazing.
Yeah, it started off where Bob Geldof saw a documentary on the BBC about the Ethiopian crisis, and decided he wanted to do something about it. And first off, they did the Band-Aid thing. Do they know that it's Christmas?
Right, right.
Have that album right here.
Well done.
So
Well done, Doc.
many of the pop and rock artists of Britain at the time, and obviously was a huge success. And on the heels of that, kind of more and more people wanted to get involved. And then they did the big USA for Africa, We Are the World. We all remember that
Ooh,
one.
well done,
And
man.
it was kind of corny. Look back on it, but I always enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, they had some really cool artists on. Like Ray Charles and Bob Dylan, and guys like that. So
Yeah. Very cool. And Phil Collins, he actually played at both of them.
Yeah.
He played at Wembley, and then hopped on the supersonic jet over to New York, and I don't know what from there, but he hit both shows, which was
Hit the
pretty
JFK in
crazy.
Philly. So one thing too, a lot of people don't realize those weren't the only two Live Aid concerts going on at the time. They had one going in Canada, Japan, Yugoslavia, Austria, West Germany, and Australia. I'd previously known about the Australian one. They called it Oz for Africa. Had bands like Men at Work, Little River Band, and In Excess was the headliner. But I was trying to find out who played at some of these other ones, namely the Canadian one. And I don't. Do they have like Brian Adams and Rush, or I don't know.
I would
don't know who
hope
played there.
so.
You know, you know,
I would hope they have Brian
you know.
Adams for crying out
Maybe they
loud.
ended up being like I don't know, Gordon Lightfoot and Anne Murray or something. I don't know, but yeah, they had these all over. But the main ones that were televised, right, was at Wembley in London, and the attendance for that one was 72,000, and then the one at JFK in Philadelphia was jam packed. I'm sure it was the biggest ticket around, and
No
and
doubt.
yeah, they made 127 million. 1.9 billion watched it. 1.9
Wow.
billion in 150 countries. At the time, that 40% of the world, 40% of the world watched it
Wow.
live as it happened.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's stunning. That's
That
stunning.
yeah. Good God. That's got to be one of the most watched things ever, I would
Yeah.
think. And of course, we all,
Uh,
if you've seen the Queen movie, what was the Queen movie?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah,
Yeah.
they go well into their performance there at Live
Yeah.
Aid. It's very
Well,
interesting.
yeah, Queen stole the show for sure. I mean, there,
Bingo.
there was there was a yeah, there was a couple other great performances. You two did, I thought was awesome. Um, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, Freddie and the boys were kind of the ones that stole the show. They were the ones people are still talking about.
Yeah.
Um,
But oh, just a stunning crowd. Yeah, pop stars, even Madonna for crying out loud.
oh yeah, everybody there.
And
But there
everybody there.
were big artists at the time that weren't there. I mean, Michael Jackson wasn't there. He was asked. He didn't show up.
What a shame.
Prince was asked. Diana Ross was asked. And for whatever reason, they all turned it down. Bruce was not there. Bruce was on tour. I actually saw him about 2 weeks before that in Germany. I was stationed in Germany at the time,
Dr.
and
Reba.
I saw very little of the Live Aid. It was on, but you have one channel, the AFN, the Armed Forces Network, and
Okay.
they try to cater to everybody. And there's just all kinds of stuff on there, and I'm sure they didn't show it for the whole 12 hours, 16 hours, whatever it was, and they would show little parts of it from time to time, and we would catch it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
pretty much the whole world was watching though.
oh yeah, and they had the what was they hoped would be a legendary Led Zeppelin reunion, which sort of turned into a bust. Apparently, they had
Yeah, it
Phil
felt
Phil
a little
Collins
flat. Yeah,
playing with them, and far from impressive. Jimmy Page. Emotionally, I was eating every word that I had uttered. I'd done 3 gigs on the trot. Wait, what? Time out.
what
I've
does that
done
mean?
I've done 3 gigs on the trot before I got to Live Aid. We rehearsed in the afternoon, and by the time I got on stage, my voice was long gone. So yeah, he was it was a wreck. On top of his hoarse voice, Page's guitar was out of tune. Wait a while now. Well, it's easy. Well, being a guitarist, really, you can tune on the fly. If it's way out of tune, then you're screwed. But if it's just a little bit off, you can always tune on the fly. You can being
Nah.
an excellent guitarist, you can zero in on the string that's out and fix it. Come on. The band tried their best to forget this unsatisfactory performance in their career, but there was another reunited band that did quite the opposite. Uh-oh. And apparently Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne reunited with Sabbath for this. I did not.
Yeah,
And presented to the stage by comedian Chevy Chase. Wow.
yeah, but apparently I read the story where apparently once they got reunited the night before and they're supposed to do rehearse and stuff, and they just partied,
Drinking,
partied
yeah.
instead of rehearsed,
And reminiscing about their
yeah.
past together.
Yeah. So they kind
That's
of felt
great,
they
though.
felt flat a little bit. I was kind of watching some of these in preparation for the show, and yeah, the Led Zeppelin set they fell a little flat. They come out, they did rock and roll, a whole lot
Of
of love,
course.
and then Stairway, and yeah, it fell a little flat. Fell a little flat. Even Plant's voice wasn't there. I mean, yeah, just which kind
Uh,
of seems they throw these things together, and there's very little rehearsal time. Phil Collins sat in with them
right.
as you mentioned earlier. He flew over, and or don't the Led Zeppelin one was in England, right? I can't get them straight, but at any rate, Phil Collins was the drummer that sat in. So
Yeah. In
um,
America. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, okay, it was America. Okay. Um, But yeah, also they had people may remember they had the video with Mick Jagger and David Bowie, and where they were doing dancing in the streets. And initially, they wanted to do a situation where one of them, I know Jagger was in Philly and Bowie was in London, and they were going to do a song at the same time. And it was going to be the first intercontinental duet.
That would have been a
And
train wreck.
but yeah, with the technology, there was just too much of a lag. There was just no way that that could have been done, you know,
Yeah,
as they
yeah.
wanted. One of them would have had to have lip sync. They would have had to, and even
Yeah.
that, I guess, would have. I can imagine would have been a disaster
Oh
trying
God,
to
what do we call
lip
that on
sync
Pro
with it.
Tools?
It's got a lag like
I
that, but
can't. Yeah, yeah. There's a special name for it. I can't remember what the hell it is.
yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah. Anyway, so they decided to do the video that they put out, and that was
There's-
kind of a goofy video. Yeah.
oh, well, the video itself, yeah, is goofy enough. But somebody put a video on YouTube. I hope it's still there, where it's the Dancing in the Streets video, but there's no music. There's just sound effects. They just add sound effects and grunts and shit where they're moving and stepping. It's funny as hell. It's probably on YouTube. I can't imagine it
Probably
not
is.
being,
I'm sure
but
it is.
it's hilarious as hell because what a goofy video. Jeez, but yeah, yeah. Oh, Bob Dylan was there. What the hey?
Bob Dylan was there,
Man, oh
but Bob
man.
Dylan wanted some of the money to go to U.S. farmers. Because you remember at the time that farmers were having a rough.
Yep, yep. They had Farm Aid and all that going to trying to help the farmers. And
What spawned Farm Aid? They didn't do it with this because this was dedicated to the Ethiopian crisis, but it sparked the idea for Farm Aid. So a lot of stuff came out of this event. I think a lot of future God, we had the metal one, hearing aid. Remember that one they had with the, oh gosh, there was a bunch of guys in that one.
barely, yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, they did a bunch of them just after the
Oh
Live Aid and We Are
gosh.
the World. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, there's a
geez.
lot of great performances on there. Everybody talks about the Queen performance, which they should. It was awesome. But yeah, U2 was pretty damn good too, man. He was doing a song called Bad. Yeah, thanks for getting those guys off of it. A song called Bad.
Yeah.
And there's one point where kind of people were getting crushed up against the barricade, kind of, and there's some young ladies there, and Bono's down there motion for him to get them out of there. And at some point, it doesn't happen fast, so he jumps over the barricade and goes down, and pulls the girl out, and it's
Come
I
on,
don't
we're
know, she
gonna
looks
get
like
you
she may
out
be
now.
Indian. Yeah,
Cool,
maybe
cool beans.
Indian or Middle Eastern or something. And then he just kind of slows dance with her for about a minute and a half or so. And yeah, it was a very cool moment, man. Very cool moment. But
Outstanding. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. But boy, oh boy. Apparently, McCartney was there, and he had a bit of a trouble. Uh, yeah, although here we say, although some fans might have hoped for a reunion of the living members of the internationally loved band, the Beatles, they did get a lovely taste of the majestic band from a performance of Paul McCartney singing their legendary song "Let It Be." Unfortunately, there were a few technical difficulties with his microphone during parts of the song. So when McCartney found himself in times of trouble, who came to speak words of wisdom? Bob Geldof, David Bowie, Alison Moyet, and Pete Townsend, and sang background vocals for him. So there you go. They covered for Sir Paul McCartney. Sir Paul McCartney can do no wrong, period.
yeah, I'm sure in an event like that, though, there's going to be technical issues.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine.
Uh,
Jeez. Yeah, yeah. The I was impressed because when you see a band in concert and they've got the big massive backdrops, and in Megadeth's case, it was the big, humongous four stacked Marshalls with the video screens, but
yeah.
everything on roller. They just roll them right out into the back of the stage and roll in whatever else is next. Same with the drum sets. All the drum sets are on their rollered platforms. So it's really, pretty interesting situation how they set all that stuff up. So
Yeah, but I'm sure they weren't quite as sophisticated back in '85. I'm sure with all those bands, and it just, as far as I know, they just had the one stage, right? And I couldn't even imagine the logistics of putting that together. But,
oh yeah, yeah. Bingo, logistics, that key word, yes.
yeah,
Yeah, and George Michael was there. He was big Live Aid
yeah.
supporter and promoter. Yeah, yeah. So he was great. He was a part of the Project Band-Aid. On top of that, he donated all of his revenue from "Don't They Know It's Christmas" to aid Ethiopia with the famine crisis. I
Hold
didn't
on,
know
hold on,
anybody
hold on,
got
hold on.
paid for the.
Exactly.
I
That's
didn't know
exactly what I
he
was thinking. I
donated
think
all of
everybody
his.
did that.
That's what it said. He donated all of his revenue from "Don't They Know It's Christmas." I would imagine everybody donated their
That was the
revenue.
purpose of
I would
doing it.
imagine nobody would even be getting a paycheck to begin with to donate
Exactly.
back.
Exactly.
So that's
It's an odd
odd.
statement. I don't know. We got maybe we got to double check our source there too. Maybe.
Boy.
But
Yeah, and let me see. Here we go. Live Aid was an insanely big production. Obviously, two simultaneous concerts happening in two parts of the world. Blah blah blah. And although it's unpleasant and even uncomfortable when things go wrong, technical difficulties or mishaps are bound to happen. Duran Duran performed at JFK for the first time in years, and it was going to be their last performance until 2003.
oh wow.
Unfortunately, during their set, lead singer Simon LeBon hit an off-key note towards the end of their song "A View to a Kill." So, it might have been one of the most embarrassing moments. So what? Come on. And the media hit him hard for that off-key falsetto, but we're glad it didn't stop him from giving up on music altogether. Give up on music just for hitting a wrong note? Jeez.
Yeah,
Are
I
these
don't
people out of their
know.
mind?
I think that article you're reading lasts a little bit,
Is that out of their
but
mind?
there was a lot of stuff that people know. Like when the Who performed there, they had some kind of glitch getting started. I mean, each performer had an allotted amount of time. I don't know what it was, 12 minutes maybe. I'm guessing 15 maybe. I don't know, but they
I
had
thought
their
it was
allotted
20.
amount of time, 20 whatever it
20
was. Yeah,
minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I got 12 is the Super Bowl. And that's where I got it. But anyway, 20 minutes. So for whatever reason, the Who kind of had some issues. I don't think it was their fault. I think it was with the video feed maybe or something. But they got started a little late. And then at a certain point, the red light flashes to time's up. Well, Times just went over and kicked the red light out, man. Let them go for another 5 minutes, man. So stuff like that, man.
Cool beans.
You don't normally know about, but
And
a lot of people don't realize too. Okay, Queen performed, but they had second thoughts about doing it. Freddie was worried about making a political statement, and Geldof kind of reassured him, "There's no political statement. We're just helping hungry people, man. There's no. So he was joined in, and they did their performance. But then towards the end of the night, it was just Freddie and Brian May came out.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
they did a song, is this the world we created?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which kind of fit right into what was going on. But it wasn't written for the event, but it sure sounded like it could have been.
Absolutely.
And so.
Yeah. And then legendary David Bowie took the stage in London and had a great performance in his slick light silver suit and tie. No doubt. The thin white Duke.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Greeted the crowd with a huge smile on his face, walked on the stage, and a touching finale playing the song Heroes. No doubt. Had a note of appreciation at the beginning of the song. I'd like to thank and introduce my band who I got together so quickly to do this show for me. I'm forever in their debt. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff happened. And oh man. The royal family, uses about 172,000 attendees at Wembley's. Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Holy cow. Boy, she had to say, why am I here with this loser? Jeez. Boy, wow, Prince Charles. How about that? But they raised. Let me see. The concert ended up raising over 185 million. That's a good haul. And gosh, I hope it did some good for
right. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
With all the overhead crap that ends up happening in these kind of situations, you gotta hope that they didn't have a boatload of overhead. Jeez. And let me see. 8 p.m. in London, they had a fuse was blown, causing a pause on the televised broadcast. So like you say there, man, glitches. Everything's gonna have a glitch, but it was a great concert and a great cause.
Yeah, and then after they had the show, like I said, I have the box set here, the video box set. I think it's about 4 DVDs on there, so it's packed with lots of stuff. It's got booklet and all that stuff in there. But apparently, Bob Geldof didn't want any of that kind of stuff happening. He wanted, as soon as the concert was over, any recordings, anything to be destroyed, basically. And the folks at the BBC kind of thought otherwise and kept it, and luckily they did. But
Well,
yeah,
good.
that's kind of odd that Geldof would just want it all destroyed. Not thinking that, hey, we can
Yeah,
do a Woodstock type thing, or something. There's more money to be made here, and
yeah. So there it is. Freaking A. Well, good deal for Live Aid. That was a good one. Like you said, one of the rare good ones that we've talked about, considering all the train wrecks that happened. So next week's show, I think we're going to probably skip the news because the whole show, I imagine, is going to be dedicated to our summer concert series spectacular, end of season spectacular, I should say. Yeah, it should be pretty crazy, eh?
Yeah, we'll have lots to talk about. I'm sure as we sit down and go over the concerts, there'll be things that we even forgot. But yeah, that'll be good to go over those 13 shows that we hit this summer.
Yeah, 13 shows. What great. I can't remember most of them. I remember the main ones, but 13. I mean, I remember we tried to sit there and think of them, and we can't remember all of them. So,
dude, we saw Steely Dan. Remember seeing Steely Dan?
I remember that. Yeah. I'll have plenty to say about that concert. That was well, yeah, it was. We'll talk about it next week, but yeah, next week definitely our end of season summer concert spectacular. Yeah, because and we're looking forward to next year, and I'm hoping some of our local friends who can will get this season ticket and party with us on the lawn all summer. That'd be the greatest thing ever to get some friends to come with and party with us at some of these concerts because it's very cool. So next week, yeah, spectacular. Look forward to it. And Doc, freaking A, man, it's been a good one.
Oh yeah. As Murph stated, it'd be cool to kind of build the geezer community, I suppose. And first thing to do is subscribe, help us build our mission, spread the word. Podcasts seem to be going pretty well. Like listening to those. And besides that, I hope everybody have a great rock and roll filled week, and we will see you next time.